All right, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully we are live, and hopefully we're using the right audio, or I should say, right mic. Hopefully it's not coming through the laptop. Let me bring it up on my phone. My headphones. Give me 1 second. Today's K-drama we are watching is, I think it's called King the Land. I don't know if that's a bad translation, if it's like King of the Land. But yeah, there's probably a better translation, but it's called King the Land on what I'm watching. So, all right, it sounds like I'm coming through all right. Let's see. Is this... Yeah, I think it's coming through the right one. I'll just turn. We'll just plug this into the PS4 controller. That way it's not coming through the background. It's like a chaebol drama. I'm not one for just like rich people stuff. Like where it's like, but this one looks interesting. I like it when they're interesting characters. They do a really good job. Like, they gotta do a really good job like making interesting characters for me to be interested in it. So far, this one's interesting to me. Where did my pencil go? I lost my pencil. Oh, there it is. Here we go. All right, let's see. Damn. All right. So everything's worked. So turned out coming back to the piece. It looks better than I turned away from it. Obviously, I was having some issues before we left, like struggling with the lips and stuff. Problem is coming from. So the lips are gonna have shadows. Might be cutting off like right here. I'm thinking the shadows are probably going to be coming down this direction. What the hell? Something just went flying. I don't know where we want to start with this one. Try and get, first of all, there we go. Got a stick. I think we could probably go ahead and take away the lines from the face by now. I guess we're going for the eyes. I guess we'll have to go for the eyes. Today is going to be a difficult day. All right, rough estimation here. This one's a little. As long as this is still showing the face. That seems decent. This will be shaded in. This is just a trace. Feels like the eye is a little too small, but What? I don't think I have the photo on my computer anymore. She does have very narrow, small eyes, so maybe. That's not right. I'm at the wrong angle here. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna try and pull up the image here, see if I can't. Would you work, please? Out of the... Just need a photo. You give me a photo of her eye. Where's her eye at? Why am I steaming up? Just a second. This light is baking me. I should have had this earlier, but I wasn't sure where I was going to do it. I need a close-up of her eye to get a better idea here. I don't have the name of the model. I should have, but... Where did I get that picture? Where'd I hide it? Oh, there she is. That's about right. Oh man, I'm using... Part of my nail fell off, and like clicking on my computer is making this ridiculously painful. All right, I found a picture that should give us... Downloads. All right, let's bring up the picture. I'm going to magnify into the eyes. I mean, I'll be honest, using any eyes is a good example, but hers seem particularly small for her face. Not terribly small, but I'm going to magnify. Just give me 100%. Here we go. Now her head's a little slightly tilted in this photo, but it's not bad. Just giving me an idea here. Actually, I might be able to find it real quick. Might be able to find the original photo. Problem is my mouse isn't connected to my computer because I don't have enough Ether ports. It's not the right one. What the fuck is this? Why did I put this picture? That's not it either. There it is. Found it. Finally. There it is. Quick. Ah, stop it. Quick. Download. Okay. Get rid of that. Open that up. All right. Now we can magnify in on the face. And it's decent enough. All right. It's a decent enough image that it's not too highly pixelated. So I made what I think is like an obvious mistake. The lower left side here is too far down. It's too hard to see in this picture. It's too hard to see where the eyes are in this picture. I should have gotten one that was blown up on certain areas. Obviously, the face, because of how dark the image is and how small it is. So I think what I made as the mistake is the face, instead of going, I went like this. I go like this by accident. I always go this way down. It's not down. I think it's up. You should go like this. The eyes pull up and back because they go backwards in the face. So this one's not necessarily bad. I think we'll just go ahead and erase both of them and get it started over. So if you're going off a picture, if you can, I would definitely. Oh my goodness, what just happened here? Why did it smudge so bad? Why did you do that? No, bad, bad, evil. Don't do that. Something was extremely. Shit. Why did it smudge? Ugh. Well, whatever. All right, so eyes pull back into the face. That's something, knowing anatomy is good because of that. So This is a little too sharp here, but all right, I think that looks a little bit better in shape. All right, that looks a little better. Got to pull back and up, not down. Uh, when it's funny listening to English. The Korean actress is actually not isn't speaking that isn't that's her English is okay compared to a lot of other Korean actresses where they just don't like they speak very poor. Her accent's pretty well. Obviously, she's but the American actress that they got, it's just a small bit. But I don't know if it's the way either they told her to talk this way. It seems very unnatural the way she's talking. It seems very fake. I don't know if they, since I don't know if there's a lot of maybe she's not actually English, either British or American. So English isn't her first language, and they want them to be speaking English with an accent. So they're talking very phonetically, and it seems very unnatural. And they're trying to talk very clearly, and so yeah, it doesn't sound right. But like, it's weird. You could get so many people on camera in the U.S. that aren't actors to act normally. Like, yeah, you can get people that are poor actors. I mean, like when they get on camera, they seize up and stuff. But you can still get people that are just to do a bit part that just come across as like they're not acting but just being normal. But this is such a small part, and their voice sounds so weird. It's cringy when they're speaking English. But I'm assuming they're like German or Swedish or something, and either someone's doing a voiceover. It's very I can't remember what it's called, but when you do a voiceover and dub it in later, um, or uh, or they're speaking very phonetically to try and do an American accent, or they're just very bad at acting and they needed an American English actor, and so they just put out casting calls, and someone in Korea is like, "Oh yeah, I'll get paid for a day's work, but I'm just terrible." And they're like, "Okay, it's going to be like 10 lines, job done. We don't care how well they do it." Because to an American actor, it seems, at least to me, when you see other people who act and seem natural on camera, then when you hear them talk and act, it seems so robotic. And it drives me insane. You got like a normal production, then all of a sudden you have this totally amateur or unnatural robotic American accent, American actor or somebody come in, and you're just like, ugh, ugh, ugh. They do that quite a lot. Sometimes they do get really good American actors, or they get really good natural speaking actors. I say if you're going to have like a German, if you're going to have someone who doesn't speak English, have them on there with an accent. It's better like if you got someone that's German who speaks English, just have them in there with a German accent, even if the role calls for someone who just speaks English. Because English tends to be like a trade language. A lot of times, a Korean will speak English, a German will speak English, and it's easier to converse in English when neither one of them knows Korean. I mean, like she doesn't know German, he doesn't know Korean, or she doesn't know Korean. and she doesn't know German, so it's easier. It's a trade language, like Chinese sometimes is in China, or like there's a lot of trade languages where it's a neutral language. A lot of people learn that neutral language, and then they talk in that language, even if it's not their first language. But yeah, sorry, it's cringe. Just like good acting, good Korean actors, and talking, and it's all natural on camera. And all of a sudden, you got this like couple dialogues back and forth with somebody, and it's supposed to be like a heartwarming moment, and it's like, oh, the dialogue is so cringe, so cringe. All right, so that one's better. This one, I don't know why it does this. I don't understand him myself. I'm guessing there was a smudge, like I must have erased with this right here. So if you can, clean off your eraser. Like go off. I don't know if you can see this. Go off to the side on your table, like up here. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. There you go. And just if you got a dark spot like this, smudge it off. Because that smudge when you're erasing will come off. I think that's what happened. That dark spot came off on my yeah, now it's a lot more clear. That dark spot came off right here and it smudged and stained my thing. So you got to be careful about that. We can probably fix this. The eye is not going to be pure white anyways, but we're going to have to work around it now. So these are obviously like things that so this will like come here up through here. So I think right about here is pretty good. I'm trying to look at this eye. So the eye, all eyes are different. So it's a little, it's kind of like this. It's a little lopsided. It's not directly in the center. So obviously we're a little bit on the angle. But this, to oh no, the Baby Shark song. Oh no. Oh, this is actually a pretty good. So far, this is pretty funny. Oh, her little daughter is going to be so embarrassed. So this is going to come in a little bit here. Oops. So in the picture, her hair is cutting off just a little bit here. So it's going to come down just about on the edge. I think this eye, I think the eye on the right should be a little bit bigger, but I still feel like it's a little too big, you know? Yeah, it feels a little too. Yeah, a little... All right. We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and take this out here. There's a lot of bathroom humor in Korean stuff. I don't know why. It seems like to me to American stuff there's not nearly as much bathroom humor. But there's a lot of fart jokes, like having to go to the bathroom diarrhea jokes and stuff in Korean stuff. But I could be wrong. There could be I could just miss it. Maybe it's just a TV drama thing. The bags, I mean, she's got decent shading under her eyes. Now these I really like. I can't remember what these are called, but they're basically like shading pencils. Um, it's got like paper wrapped around with two pencil ends on each side. The more you use it, I mean, obviously it kind of tips in at the end here. Mine's pretty dark, so I can even use mine almost now without putting much shade in if I just want to really just highlight. And we'll go in here and highlight a little darker. There'll be more highlights. I just want to kind of gauge where the eyes are at. Now this is where using this pencil is going to be the best. It smudges a lot easier. So we'll take out and smudge just a little bit, but it also will erase lightly, so you can get a nice gradients. So all right, that's not too bad for the eyes, the outlining of the eyes. Her eyes are kind of staring towards you here, so the eye is going to be over here on the right side for me, left side, I guess, for you, and again over here on the right side, it's going to be staring this way. Pull this out here. With hair, my style of drawing, the like quick, like this I don't know what to call it, but I don't do one long line. I should probably I do strands, but it works very well for hair. Works very, very well for hair. Because hair, you kind of want to dead end and break off. Or you want like these, I don't know what you call it. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know how hair is, like it'll be long strands and then just tons of like little short ends all over the place. When I do it, when I sketch and I go or I go like this, I go it really does well for hair. So obviously different techniques. So I need to learn how to do long arcs and stuff, because it would be a lot better for certain things. We don't have to worry too much about smudging or we don't have to worry about too many things here, because the hair is going to be relatively dark, going to absorb, or it's going to be hard. It's going to be nearly impossible to see any of these lighter lines in the background. So as long as we primarily erase them, then we're going to be all right here. I'm going to zoom up. I want to see her hair real quick. Actually, her hair kind of parts. Let me see here. Her hair parts right here, but it kind of like a line that we see kind of off to the back, and then it's kind of like a lot of people's part. You don't just part right down the middle. Everybody's part is a little different. But does it part all the way? It does. So we'll get rid of this part. I kind of like this better. I like it where it's kind of curved off to the side too. I have a similar part. My part's like a third on the way. It's not like right in the middle. My part's off to the right, and it'll be like a third of my hair is going down to the right, and the other third is lobbed over to the side. It's very Hitlerian youth. That's probably why a lot of those kids had that part. I know it's like all of a sudden it's like what, but like if you look at like the way people like kind of part their hair, where all of it's like a third, like 2/3 of it's like brushed over to one side, and the other third is parted down right there. It's because a lot of people tend to have a part right there. It's kind of parted over to the side, and like 2/3 of it's over. That's the old brush. That one, I don't know if you saw it on camera, but I have 2 white erasers here. That's why I don't know. Maybe I accidentally used the other eraser. This other one, quite old. I should probably clean it off. I don't know if I was letting my little sister use it. Maybe that's why it's so dirty when she was drawing. But it's very gray, And a good way to do it is to take a knife. If you don't want to like just take a knife and chunk it, just cut off all, like, don't try to like take huge chunks, but take a small quarter of a centimeter, just like you're cutting cheese. Slice some of the dark spots off and the gray part, because it just gets all smudged on top. But this is good for smudging. You just got to be careful, because once you touch it, you don't want to touch your picture without wiping your hands off. So, all right, now I want to work with the eyebrows. The eyebrows are quite thick. I actually really like the eyebrows. They're like a natural thick, though. They're not like that fake thick. They're not like buzz your eyebrows off and paint them on thick. They're like real thick. They're like, I can't remember. There's that Spanish female artist with the unibrow. Everybody knows her for a unibrow. I mean, I think she was a decent artist, if I remember her pictures correctly. But I'm not one for the unibrow, but thick eyebrows. She had relatively thick eyebrows, including the unibrow. I don't know. Something about the part in the eyebrow is, it makes it look what's the symmetrical. There's something to do with, I think, with beauty, especially when you have a lot of symmetry in the face, but then all of a sudden, like, you have like a mole on one, like a small mole on, they call them beauty spots or whatever, but like you have some moles or freckles on one side of the face or something, and like it throws that symmetry off. But then I don't know, something about the unibrow. Some people find it differently. For me, the only reason I don't like, I like large noses, big ears. Some things that a lot of people don't, or like a lot of people like small noses. Like if you got a big, I'd say, but the stereotypical like Jewish nose, or like certain I don't know if like certain not culture, but certain genetics are lend to a larger nose. But when you get those, a lot of people dislike it when you got a larger nose. I find those still attractive. Because they're somewhat different. But the unibrow, for some reason, it's because it throws off like the symmetry of the face. Like you have two eyes, the nose splitting down the middle, something like the lips are perfectly centered. But then the unibrow, like the normalness of like the eyebrow on each side, just above the eye. But then the way it connects, I don't know, something about the connection. But when it's parted with a break in the middle, the way it breaks right where the nose comes down, like from an artistic point for me, like that's why like it seems more, I don't know, more beautiful. But someone needs to explain to me who finds the unibrow attractive. And not too many people do. That one's I don't think that's considered I mean, if you're attracted to the unibrow only. Right. But if you're just attracted to unibrow, like some people are just attracted to feet, that's not a fetish. But some people who find a unibrow attractive on somebody, which is a very rare thing. There are some very rare things for people to find attractive. But from an artistic point, I don't know. I think it's the symmetricalness of the eyebrows that lend to the now, since these are so bushy, now they're not very thick. They are thick, but they're not like they're not fat, I would say. Like they're nice full eyebrows, but I don't know quite how I want to do this. They kind of, so a good way I think I like to do it, because a lot of eyebrows kind of grow in all directions and we keep them tempered. So I think a good way to do this is I have an idea of where the eyebrows are from the light outline here. So what we'll do is we'll pedicure them. We'll take an eraser and shave, we'll cut them off. We'll make them nice and straight in a second. So don't be afraid Don't be afraid to go a little overboard. Now, what you do want to do is make sure there's some nice dark ones in there so they don't just get all messed. Like, you don't want it to just be a gray blob. You know, you're gonna have it's gonna become a little bit dark, but you want to get a little sharp edge in there with the pencil. Get a little, make sure there's some. And the eyebrows are very. Trying to see now. Now this is kind of incorrect. Her eyebrow pulls down this way. This looks like a big eyebrow, but we're gonna pedicure it. Don't worry. Look at the hair in here. Now that we know where we're gonna want the hair, I still think I'm gonna do something with the hair. We're gonna give her a bun with some sticks and twigs and stuff through it, but I still think I want the long hair. I'm gonna give her something. Now, this is the important part. I'm not going to use the smudging stick. I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of this crap off so it doesn't smudge. Go in with a very light, and we are going to manicure, and we are just going to cut. We're going to trim so that her eyebrows are coming down to the right a little bit. So that's a little bit of a trim. Now they are a little, the best thing to do is they're a little smudged up top. So go ahead and curve it down here. Go back in with your pencil, get a nice, oops, that's a little too much, but we'll fix that. If you want, use a smudger, erase a little bit. Like I said, this will layer. So what we'll do is we'll erase. This will lighten it up a little bit, and we can go back in here. And now we can reapply some darker lines to give her some more formed eyebrows. I think that's not bad. We'll still manicure this a little bit. Go ahead and erase some of these. I don't want to call them tracing lines. What are the proportion lines? Because there was no tracing involved. I love it. Like, if you can get to a point where you can eyeball something and just kind of get it, that's perfect. But it's very hard. It is a very hard thing to do. There are some tips and tricks you can get yourself into to know that better. But otherwise, especially if you're starting out, where is our photo? It's hiding under here. When you're just starting out, it's very hard to do that. Now this, I'm just doodling a little bit in here to give myself some. So we know we have that. So this in here is going to be the shading in here might change a little bit. I went ahead and erased that shading line because our source is going to change. I don't know if that's going to be there anymore. So it's going to be interesting. Go ahead and leave the rest of these in here, but we can take most of them out of the face. Now, I think what we want to do, go ahead and trim this down a little bit. Go ahead and extend out just a little bit. So like I said, what I'm doing is like I'm doing little I don't know how else to better explain it. Like it's a sound, I know, but it's like they're like little claw marks, you know, like if you look at like an animal's footprint on the ground, how they leave little slashes and dashes. So I'm doing that. I'm going just like little dashes, right? And you want to curve it, so do like get your hand on the side and kind of curve like a and don't matter if you go a little too big, because like I said, you're going to go in and you're going to erase. And once you're done, like I said, if you do it, what you do want to do though is you want to make sure when you erase, this is something you can't erase over and over again because you're going to smudge. We already have a little smudging up here. I think with a nicer eraser, we can go ahead and go in and get some of that out. So, all right. I think that's not bad. Not bad. I think we want to go a little further, though. Your eyebrow goes in just a little bit more. So what the nice thing this does is if you cut off the top like that, it still leaves you some of the lines that you left in there. So it looks like a manicured, it looks like a very well-formed eyebrow, but it still leaves you some of those lines. So, all right, we'll do the other thing. Now, this one's going to be strange. So eyebrows kind of curl, they curl. So if you're looking at the front of somebody, they kind of curl from the front back. They usually kind of curl front to back, kind of like an eyelash. Eyelash curls up like towards you and in. Like if an eyelash kind of continued to grow, it would grow out towards you, curve, and kind of go back towards your face. So this is kind of like a really short eyelash where it starts in, and it kind of grows back in towards the paper. So what I want to do, don't be afraid to turn your photo and draw at different angles. So this might be hard to see. It'll depend on how we position this. Let's go ahead. But don't be afraid to turn your photo and do different stuff. I think this might show up still. Shoot. Sorry, I got crap all over the place. Yeah. Oh. All right. There went my PS4 controller. Important stuff. Well, there went my smudger. Okay. Important stuff's off to the side here. You know what? Can you give me 1 second? I kind of realized why I was feeling like crap. I forgot to take my nighttime meds. Ooh. Give me a second. Where's my water? Where's my water? No, I'm not getting into the food, dog. Every time I get into the fridge or the kitchen, my dog comes waddling over, expecting food. Okay. trying to find a place to put my water. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna bring up this full stock. I want to see how it looks. All right. I know it's kind of on the side, but it is on its side. So, all right. You're on the side. Just be careful. You don't damage your picture when you're moving it. So in this case, I'm kind of getting off to the side here. I'm actually going to tilt this upside down almost. So I have a natural indication to draw like this. I don't know how else to say it. So I'm facing this way. I can draw really well from anywhere in this angle. I can draw. So obviously, if you try to like draw upside down, if you want a natural angle or a direction of your pen to go that way, but it's hard also to like, if I'm drawing like this, to like draw off to the left with like a decent curve or something. So like I said, move your picture so that you can get to those, like make your art curve. So this is lending a good angle for me because I can continue to draw similar to this because I want them to kind of curve up into the left here, or yeah, up into the left for me. Let's see, am I showing up? It's kind of off. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and let me look at the picture here. Yeah, she's right kind of where the nose is. I just realized the nose got a little erased in the process of. Yeah, okay. Right here is fine. Or actually, hold up here. I'm trying to think. I am trying to think. My brain's not working. Do I want... Yeah, I want them curved in like this. Why is this such a hard... Why is this... Something about this is giving me a hard time. I don't know why. My brain's not functioning. Like all of a sudden, once I turn the picture... Is that right? Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. I turned the picture the wrong way, I think. Yeah, I think I turned it the wrong way. Apologize. This is your brain on old. I don't know how. I don't know how we're going to do this. Okay, I think. Yeah, that feels right. I need my towel here so I don't smudge. Should probably have a towel up here too, but there's not much there for me to smudge at the moment. Again, don't be afraid to get those. Sorry, I'm probably a little out of position here for the mic. Try and get it down so it's a little closer to my mouth. Don't feel free. I mean, don't feel free. Feel free, or don't worry, to go a little crazy, a little too big with the eyebrows because you're gonna cut. The point is to get defined, sharp lines. You are either gonna need a very sharp pencil, right? You're gonna need a very sharp pencil, or you're going to want, like I have, a mechanical pencil, which gives you a natural, very sharp, small point for fine detail. I think a mechanical pencil is great for small detail. Anyways. The end's going to curve in a little bit. No. I don't think that's that bad. Let's go ahead and again, you're gonna take your eraser, make sure it's clean. Because when you go in and you're gonna do a dark area and try to clean it. Sorry, that was really loud. I don't know why it's emphasis, but when you're gonna try and do it like a clean sweep, like you're trying to get a so it say a whole area is very dark, just a whole area, and you want like a highlight. Your eraser needs to be clean, a white, otherwise it's just gonna smudge. Like, where is it here? My other eraser, which is covered in crap. So you need a fresh, clean eraser, or you need to, like I said, rub it off here. And we're going to manicure. Don't fall, please. Manicure ourselves. A hard line. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now, obviously, we accidentally erased some of the forehead. That's not a big deal. Now, at the bottom part here, it doesn't matter if it smudges a little bit. Go ahead and... Now, we're going to obviously go in here and do some shading underneath in the eye and stuff eventually. So that's going to clear out a lot of issue. There's going to, like, we're going to form... There's going to be a lot more form and shading underneath the eye to form up the eyebrow in here. There's going to be an eyelid. There's going to be more of the eyebrow. So... yeah, it's not bad. And obviously, we haven't formed any eyelash or anything yet. We just have the outline of the eye. So, go. I think that's not bad. I think it's definitely the shit. What do I do? I just hit my controller. I just saw something happen on my TV, and I thought I'd fuck something up. All right, I think she's coming together when a plan comes together. I love it when a plan. I guess in this book, I love it when a woman comes together. I want to make sure this doesn't show up on the. Don't need YouTube going. You showed nudity, even though you probably can't even see anything. I think she's showing up. She doesn't look picture perfect. Like I said, I don't worry if you're drawing somebody and they don't look 100%. It's kind of a flavor. You kind of want a flavor, unless you're like, I guess you really are trying to get 100%. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying to aim for, I guess, perfection, but don't worry about that really till later. Like I said, I haven't drawn anything in about a year. I've drawn probably some very small stuff. So I was working on a dragon, which I actually want to finish up. I was just drawing with my little sister. I should probably bring this back up. I was just drawing with my little sister at her house, and I was working on a dragon. Actually, I can probably show it to you guys real quick. It's very simple. I mean, it's very simple. But there's this game I'm playing. I can't remember what it's called now. Actually, give me a second. There's a video game that I was playing with dragons, where it's basically like a flight simulator with airplanes instead of dragons. So you're shooting fireballs like missiles, and well, shiznits. It's called Century: Age of Ashes, and it's actually fun. The dragons are really cool. But anyways, so she wanted to draw with me, and when I draw, I don't like to like just doodle. I mean, I'll color something, but I don't. Oops, I hit the wrong button. So I don't like to just doodle, but I want to finish it. We'll probably finish it on. We'll do a drawing on stream. I got the body outlined and everything, but I need to get in detail. So I got the body, I got the head, I got the arms, and stuff, and I got the picture still. So I'm kind of rough like this. I've just got the outline, but from there we'll go. So I think the eyes are in a good position. I think the nose is in a relatively decent position. We're gonna have to obviously work on this. I'm gonna need to position the light and have an idea of where the lighting is going to go. So obviously if the lighting comes in, it's going to be shaded in here. The tops, the very inside's going to be shadowed, but the top isn't. They'll probably be shadowed in here still. This will be light. This will be dark. This will be light again. This side of her hair will be shaded up front. Well, it's going to be coming kind of from the oh, no. Didn't I say I'm going to be doing it from like the front right? Yeah, we're going to be doing it from the front right. That's what we're going to do instead of like the bottom right. I don't know. We might keep the lighting a very similar pattern. It's hard for me. I can do some things from imagination. Like what I do is hodgepodge. So I take something. What I do is I take something and I add a whole bunch of stuff to it in my imagination, and that's how I kind of create stuff. Like I have a whole bunch of stuff I've created. And like this, we're going to add wings. We're going to do flowers, or hopefully we're going to add another fairy up here, flying towards us. But what I'm saying is, it's hard for me to imagine stuff that I just can't get a physical position on. So the lighting for me is extremely hard. I don't know why. I guess certain things it's not very hard, but when things are very in motion, or maybe since it's harder for me at the moment since the picture is not in complete detail yet. Once we get, I guess the outline and everything done, once we see all the nooks and crannies, like where we see the armpit, where all the hair is at, then I'll know. Like obviously, like under here is going to be shaded, and on the under neck part, if we're going to be coming from the back right, the left side of her face is, or from the right, if it's kind of like, if it's not direct on from the front, if it's off to the right, the left side of her face is going to be shaded, that kind of stuff. So I know that, but I'm going to have to think about every nook and cranny that we're going to do here. So this is probably wrong. This should come down. This is going to come up, down, and then it's going to come up and under like this. That's why my hair is here. This will flow up and under like this. There we go. See, this is a good example of my that hair right there was a good example of my arm being in the wrong position, because it was hard for me to curve. So it's easier for me to curve in this way than it is for me to curve in that way. What do I want to do here? All right. Let me see. What's next on the chopping block? Figuratively, not literally. A little bit. Which way you gotta go? So that way. I guess we'll go down for the arm. We'll go ahead and do the arm without any clothing on it. For the moment, we're just going to get a highlight idea. It ends at 5. We stay within 5. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to go ahead and pop on the next episode of my show here. Oh. So far, it's kind of actually funny. King the Land. Like I said, I'm not into chobles. It's I don't know if so in America we have a lot of families, or we have a lot of families that are self-made money. It's kind of weird in America to like be from actual old money, where like the money's been around for hundreds of years, I guess, even like 100 years. So like from your money's from like the Rockefeller. I think the Rockefellers is probably a good example. I don't know if the Rockefellers. Who's the one that was in oil? I don't know. You know, like your great grandparents back in the 1850s or something made their money, and it's been around in the family for that long, right? I guess Korea, there's some really big names where either big names or there's quite a few families where it's been around for several generations. You know, back to like the 1700s or something. I don't know how long it has to be considered a part of a chiobol, or if it's just a big name. Like if you, as long as your family is sufficiently rich, like you own, like if you're like a Trump status or Paris Hilton status, even if the money isn't necessarily old, you're still considered. But I think it's a mixture of a famous name that's been around for a long time that's also wealthy, because I'm pretty sure there's famous names that aren't necessarily wealthy, but I don't think you're showable. I don't know if I'm even saying the word right, but like, yeah, so they do a lot of TV dramas, movies, stuff like that based on, I don't know about movies, but TV's dramas based off about like really rich, obviously really rich guys. In America, it's just really rich guys, but in theirs, it has to do with like status and the family's been around for forever, you know, so it's all about like keeping the family. Why is this not working? Work, damn it. Anyways, you just come from old money basically. In America, a lot of your money's gone within a couple generations. Even if somebody's made it, it's a lot of money in America tends to be more self-made. There's very few like Rockefellers. Plus, we haven't even been around as long as South Korea, or just Korea in general as a country has. So we've only been around 250. Have we done the bicentennial? We've been around. Have we been 250 yet? No, because it would 200 years was 1975. 200 to 237. 2037 would be 250. No, that's not right. 2037. Yeah, no, 2027? Is it 2027 is the 250 mark? I can't do math. Let's say 1776. I know that's when we declared our independence. We didn't technically become a country until what, 12 years after, 6 years after? Was it 1782, 1786? I don't know if technically we go off of declaration or ratification. Okay, well, let's go off of 1776 just for my mathematical. So 1776, 1876, 1976, and then another 50 years would be 76 to 2006 would be 30. So yeah, 2026. Yeah, so 2026 would be 250 years, roughly. Let's say I'm a little off and it's like 2032, but yeah, so Korea's been around since what, the 1300s? I'm trying to remember, 1400s. I'm trying to remember when the old kingdoms fell. So yeah, all of our money is relatively within generational. Only people like maybe like the Rockefellers, or some of them have had it over 100 years or a little bit more. There's very few families that have had their generational wealth for hundreds of years or even over 100 years necessarily. So that's just an interesting tidbit. Anyways, point being, I don't really go for that because it's like the rich guy or even like the rich woman, and it's like it's not very interesting for me. That tends to fall in the woman's. A lot of the women find that interesting. Tend to find more interesting and appealing, but they have to have an interesting character bit. Like there has to be uh, interesting characteristic. It has to be a comedy. There has to be a lot of fun stuff, comedy going off between it. If it's overly dramatic, I don't like it. But this one is kind of interesting so far with the like the characters and stuff like that. And so far, the two just technically met, and they met because the girl had to go to the bathroom really, really bad, and she had to go drop. The person she's working with who's over her head was being a dick, and she stopped by the bathroom of the. She's working in a hotel, and she stopped by the person's bathroom on the way in that she needed to go drop something off or something at the hotel room. And she's like, she really has to go, like, like she's gonna crap her pants, have to go. And she stops off into the bathroom to go. And it's one of these fancy bathrooms where for some reason you can make the glass like go colorless, go so it's like you can't be seen. And then you hit a button and then you can be seen. I have no idea why. It's probably because like if I have no idea. I have no idea what the purpose is of making it so that you can be seen in the bathroom. Like you normally have a wall there. Why have glass that you can see through, or like make it so it's see through? And so she's messing around with the controller because it's fancy, and she doesn't realize anyone's in there. The guy comes back to pick up his phone, and she hits the button, and she's on the toilet, and he turns around, and there she is on the toilet. Pants down. Well, and yeah, so I like a good comedy. It's got to be comedic if you're going to go that way instead of drama. And so far, there's interesting, funny stuff with friends and all that. So it's a little bit more up my alley. I like the ones where it's like backstreet stuff, like where like people are like living in like the fish, like they live in the markets, or they live like they're running a chicken a bar stand or a restaurant or a chicken stand, and it's kind of like the everyday people. Those are kind of more my interests, and I find interesting. Or like they're doing something with their family, or they're running like a farm. I find those more interesting than for some reason the rich people one. The rich people one, it's like it tends to be like, I don't want to say your life is necessarily easy, but you have different problems, and I find those problems tend to be far more artificial or self-caused than the other ones. I'm not saying other people don't cause themselves problems, but a lot of them tend to be, and I just don't. They get annoying. So, well, unfortunately, it seems like this one's not working. Are you gonna work? Work? Oh no, it's working. Okay, I just didn't hit the play button because I was getting so chatty. All right, so that's so far so good. So let's go ahead. They're doing like the very last. I love it when they do the last scene over again. And caught in the bathroom. All right. I might have done the hair too much because her arm. Yeah, this is... It's about halfway. May have given her too voluminous of a hair. Of hair. This is where the small details kind of matter. We're going to go ahead and trim off a little bit of her hair here. Okay. So the back of her arm comes in just around. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm not using any shadows yet, but the arm doesn't feel quite positioned right yet. I mean, the outfit she's wearing isn't really helping because it's very obscuring the what I would say the normal hard lines. I'm being quite literal where her arm is. Plus, there's one actor in here that I really like. He's not normal an actor; he's a side actor. I don't know if he's probably a comedian or something, or he probably does stuff on. They have a lot of I don't know necessarily what it's called. There's a certain type of TV like there's like a lot of there's a lot of like reality TV in Korea. Not like in reality TV, I guess necessarily like we think of when you think like Big Brother or well, I guess that's British. I think that was British, but like or anything. But where they have stars or they have people and they do stuff. They do like cooking shows and stuff like that. A good example is like who's the famous chef from Hell's Kitchen? I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Uh, Gordon Ramsay, like him, where they kind of start off like that and then they go into acting. So I don't know if he was like I'm not sure, but he's a funny guy. He's really funny. He does a lot of, and I like him as a support actor and a lot of stuff. I think I might have too much. This might be. Don't quite know. It fixed eventually. Something feels off about the proportions. Something feels off. I usually do all right with hands nowadays, but something feels maybe it's just the angle. You see what I'm drawing? Yeah, you can see what I'm drawing. Oh shit! I just stabbed myself with my pencil. Sorry, I'm not talking at all. I'm very focused on this oh, not for some reason, but obvious reason. I guess it seems weird to me because her arm is it's twisting like this, so you're seeing you're not her arm's not like this. It's twisted like this, so you're seeing the forefront of her arm. I don't know, like yeah, the way her arms twisted, like her arm's just twisted, so it's weird in the picture. It's I think this turned out all right. I might need to enlarge it just a little bit, her hand, but we'll see here. The best way to enlarge something is literally draw a light line around what you've already drawn. Oh, I'm talking in I'm talking at the camera for some reason. Okay, so the best thing to do when you enlarge something is to lightly just draw a line around what you've already drawn, and that usually will give you the best, the best formation. Try to keep those crisp formations. Sometimes you don't even have to completely enlarge the whole thing. Oops. Sometimes just slightly etching outwards a bit and shadowing can help you increase what would normally look like smaller. And the shadow, yeah, I think it's looking good so far. The shat the shadow line we're gonna see here for the this should be a little more in. I'm not 100% sure. I'll wait to draw the fingers in because I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the outfit. All right. I think the next part will definitely be. I think we're gonna draw down here. Go ahead and just because it's gonna help outline the rest of the body. If you have a rough idea where the arm's gonna be, this is not enough. Again, this is kind of a weird angle, but I'll work on the butt a little bit later. Formation's not bad. Feels like this cuts in a little bit more. Where is this at? This is at. Other leg comes in. I'm not gonna do the whole posterior and stuff because I don't know what is or isn't allowed on YouTube. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and end here. Oh, we're exactly about 2 hours. All right, that's good. I was thinking about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm gonna find out. Ow! Before I come on next time. Ow! I got a cold sore right on the edge of my nose, and well, I had to itch my nose, and it hurts like a motherfucker. So the plan is to figure out how the outfit's going to drape over the frame. So this is a relative idea what the frame is. I think it'll be a little petiter. It looks about right. I think I'll probably bring her back is very arched. Now the thing is her back, she's on a side, so her back's kind of half turned. It's about like, I don't know. So if this is full turn, she's about half turned like this. So you see this is like her spine right here going around her back. But she's got quite a bit of an arch in her back. I'm trying to, I mean, I like it. It's sensual without sexual. I don't know the exact definition of sensual. I think it's like a halfway mark. But it's showing off obviously the curves of her. There, that's a good. That's a little bit better. Curve under her back. I might have to fix this. I'm gonna have to fix this up front here. She's got a little bit of a belly on her, but not like a big belly. But I mean, it's like she's not like. Maybe it's just kind of like the fat that kind of, like even if you have abs, a little bit of muscle and fat kind of globs onto your sides a little bit. If you have any fat, it's kind of probably what that is right there. But the way she's arching her back probably pushes out her stomach a little bit. Don't worry if you erase. I mean, you have an idea. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to erase the. Sucker born every minute. I would, so far off of about an episode and a half or almost 2 episodes, I would suggest this one if you like K-dramas. King of the Land. It's got a good comedic bit to it. So I like small situational comedy and stuff like that, and it does that all right so far. But if you need like stuff happening all the time, it's relatively slow so far for the first 2 episodes. But I like small funny bits, good witty scenarios, and so far they've had some of those. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. I think the body's not in a bad position. We're gonna go ahead and next time we're gonna work on the hair. I'm gonna get before, so don't be surprised if next time you come and there's gonna be some changes. I'm gonna have to work on the chest, her rear and stuff, probably off. I'm gonna go ahead and find an outfit I like for her. I'm gonna find the hairstyle I like for her. We'll do the hairstyle on scene. We'll work on the wings on screen. I'll find a flower for on screen. But I might have to do the chest off scene. So I might start doing that off scene so she's covered up. And the same thing with like her waist section here. I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to draw a butt crack. I technically don't know what the rules are for nudity. It is the stream is listed for 18 and over. But I don't know technically. Like, it's not sexual nudity. It's it's drawn nudity, but it's not very realistic. I don't know what the rules are. So, I doubt many people will even see it, but I guess I'll technically be careful. I'd rather not kids stumble across it anyways. I don't, even though I'm a artist, I'm still, I don't think, I don't think kids should be able to stumble across YouTube. So obviously I'm self-censoring this at the moment. So, all right, cool. We'll go ahead and end it there. I think that I don't know how well you can see it. Let's see how far. I don't know how close we can get here. That's about as close as we get. The hand turned out all right. Like I said, I might need to increase the size just a little bit to make it feel proportional. Her wrist feels a little bit bigger, but I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad, especially since her hand is like going away from her. I don't know. It's like this. Yeah, it's like this going away. So the way she's like holding her outfit. So we might have her like having some sort of jacket or like the outfit coming off of her and holding onto it. And then the wings obviously coming off. But I think the dress will cut off. The dress will cut off around here. I think it'll be like a sundress style. I like that. Yeah, sundress I think is like perfect. A sundress has like those lines. It has lines in has like lines and frill, like not like heavy frills, but frills in it a lot of times. So we might do like a sundress with the wings coming out being part of the sundress. And they'll be tattered, like I said. And we'll go ahead. I don't know what her other hand will doing. Her other hand might be reaching up. We might have to change it up and have the other hand reaching up towards the flower, like holding something, or like having the water fall into her hand from the lily, or like from the flower. So, all right. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and end it. Thanks if you watched this. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that it's going slow. I know it's 4 hours and technically we've only gotten this far, but I go pretty slow. I'll be actually interested to see how I'll be interested to see how how long this takes overall, because I wouldn't be surprised if some of my pieces take like 50 hours, 40 to 50 hours overall to do. Some of those are my obviously bigger pieces, but with all the shading and stuff, I'd average on average probably 20 to 30 hours is how much I spend for a piece that's bigger like this. 4 hours to do the outline, but a lot of the shading probably takes up most of the time. Obviously, if I need to do any fixes. So All right. Yeah. Obviously, just to let you know, I think it doesn't come through as well on the video. Probably I think the lips and the eyebrows look good at the moment. The details that are crisper on YouTube are obviously the harder lines at the moment. On here, it doesn't look so bad. We'll have to obviously wait and see once we shade it in, starts to come through and all look better. I obviously showed my other piece the other day, the one I did of the character with like the back plates and the braids and the horns, and I think that looks better all the way through. Um, so I think I'll be interested in doing that piece again on a larger scale. I did that in a It's 11 by 14 sketchbook. I did that in 11 by 14. I think I would like to do that on a larger one and see. I might do that a little bit later as a piece to do, but I'd like to see it. I might do in a different position. I'm not sure. I might redo the same one and then do her on a different one, do in a different position later. But yeah, this is coming along all right. Like I said, I think her face came out all right. I think the body's coming out all right. The hair's doing all right. I'm gonna find something I like. I don't know about I wanted to do something similar to like a lot of Asian hair, like where they put the chopsticks or they put the like Korean people will put. I think Chinese did it too. Did the I don't know what it was called, but they did the stick through the back of the hair. Not the two. We'll do chops. A lot of people nowadays do chopsticks, but back in the day they did a single thing through the hair. I think we'll do a whole bunch of sticks, like actual sticks, so they'll be quite crooked and knotty and stuff. And we'll do a whole bunch of those, and we'll put a whole bunch of those in there, holding her hair up in a bun or something in the back. So that'll be interesting. I'm trying to think of other things that I kind of want to add in there. So, anyways, yeah, that came out all right. I still think the hand needs to be a tad bit bigger. It just doesn't seem quite right. I mean, she does have no, she has average size hands. I think I need to make the wrist a little bit bigger. Bring this up. I don't know if you can see it. Bring the wrist up a little bit more. This needs to be a little bit thicker. She doesn't have manly hands, but she's very skinny, so she has very veiny hands. Usually, I guess we probably assume veiny hands to be more manly hands. They're not muscular per se, but they're very. She doesn't have much fat on her hands. Like I got pudgy hands. I have strong hands because I tend to use them for a lot of stuff. But I got pudgy hands, so you can't see many of the veins and muscles, but you can see a lot of hers. So, yeah, we'll have to worry about that. All right, those are all the updates. I think I'll probably stream. I'll try and stream tomorrow too. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just streaming as often as I can. If you want to know when I'm going to stream, if you want to know when I'm going to stream for 100% certain, go ahead. There is a link to my Twitch. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Go to my Twitch on the Armchair Grump Live. Sorry. The Armchair Grump over on Twitch, and there is a link to my Discord. And every time I stream, either here on the Armchair Grump Live or over there, I will put up. I'll put up notifications. I don't have a Twitter yet. Fucking X. Why did he have to change the name? It's just gonna be so stupid. I don't have an X. What do you say? I don't have an X yet. I don't have an X account yet. That makes me sound like I'm going to like a porn site. I don't have an X yet. I don't have a Twitter yet. I probably should make one now that I have. It'll be a lot easier. A lot of more people. Should probably make one, especially since Elon's doing it now instead of some of the other crazy people. Especially if it's just for notifications. I'll probably do that one for notifications, and then eventually I'll get sucked into doing spamming stuff like I do on YouTube and yelling at people on YouTube Shorts for being stupid nut jobs. But okay, so the best thing to do is if you want to go to just the Armchair Grump, and then any of my videos have a link over to my Twitch channel. Pretty much. Otherwise, go to the Armchair Grump Live, and there is a link in the About section to my Discord. And from there, you can get notifications every time in the general conversation section when I'm going to go live anywhere. And like today, I sent out a message saying I'm going on YouTube on the Armchair Grump live. Over on the Armchair Grump, I just post videos and notifications. No, sorry, not notifications. I post videos of my streams and everything I do over on the Armchair Grump. Hopefully, other videos will be coming over there soon. I've just been tied up with doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Eventually, I'm going to be getting a computer here for editing and playing video games on, and I'm going to be streaming over on that computer instead. And hopefully, that'll get my butt into gear for doing some more editing and stuff like that. I'm terrible at time management, terrible at everything. That's why this is easier, but this is also something that gets me to do something productive. I'm not saying video games aren't good, but I think this feels a little bit more productive in my wheelhouse, and it helps me do something that I don't know. It progresses me as a human. Yeah, it's productive. It's like I'm creating something. I feel like everyone should learn that. Learning a skill. Video games. If I was making video games, I'd be learning a skill. But I think there's a skill that everybody should be working on probably, and this is helping that. So anyway, hopefully more videos will be coming out over there. Eventually, I might do some edited videos of some of my art stuff over on the Armchair Grump. Those will probably come over there once I'm done doing the picture on the Armchair Grump live. So those will eventually come over there. So check those out eventually when they come. But like when we're done with the picture, I'll edit it down to all the drawing and stuff, and hopefully you'll see it kind of progress together in like a half an hour or 45-minute video kind of thing. And then so all those videos will come out over there, tons of games, playthroughs, and come over and visit us on Twitch if you want to see us playing, hanging out, and doing all that kind of stuff. And on my Discord channel, if you want to join us for any of those video games or get notifications. And hopefully I'll be bringing some more regular videos over onto the Armchair Grump on YouTube. And there'll be stuff like, especially I watch a lot of K-dramas. I'm trying to do a video right now of a list of suggested Korean videos and movies for people to watch. There's some really good ones out there. There's a lot of crap coming out of Disney, like just bad writing, bad stories. A lot of the Marvel stuff is just turned to garbage. Stories are just terrible. It's like the writing's terrible. The characters are terrible. Same thing with Star Wars and all the stuff. I mean, it's coming from the same people. Disney owns so much of the franchise stuff nowadays. Star Trek had one good season that I watched of Picard. The rest of the Star Trek is just garbage. A lot of the sci-fi stuff and all that I've watched that I used to enjoy is just terrible. I watched so much stuff, but there's some good stuff coming out of Korea. Even I've recently watched some good sci-fi out of Korea. There's a really fun, even if it's not like amazing, it's at least fun and enjoyable. There was a good one. I think it was called Sweepers. That's one of the videos that I'm going to be talking about. But if you just want to check it out, I would definitely suggest it. Sweepers is a Korean one. I think it was in 2019 or 2021. Yeah, I think it was like 2020, 2021. And it's over on Netflix. I hate Netflix, but if you don't want to go to Tortuga in the Pirate Bay, then Netflix, I think, is where you can get it. But support stuff like that where it's fun. It's not necessarily political. And that's another thing too. There's a lot of political crap. Either it needs to be powerful whammons, you got crap all over the dudes, or there's no good fathers anymore. Like every time there's a father in a story, they're crap. Everyone's raised without a father, or the whole bunch of stuff like that, or like just in general, there's political garbage in it. Like they just constantly are talking about politics of the day, and you just don't want to have to deal with that in movies. And there's a lot of stuff coming out of Korea. I mean, there's stuff like that coming out of Korea too, but they have such a wide variety of stuff that also isn't like that, which is really nice. A lot of their dramas might have spots here and there, but they have quite a few. When I say drama, it's just whatever their TV series. A lot of their stuff only lasts for a season, but they call their TV series K-dramas. I don't know why. So yeah. So expect stuff like that, hopefully, over on the Armchair Grump as well. So yeah, thanks. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good one. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far, and I hope you like the picture. I hope even if you didn't stop in necessarily for that, I hope you learned a little bit of something. I hope I'm giving some good information. Or like even if it's just things like use a towel or some paper towel when you're drawing so that you don't smudge your picture. Using learning, cleaning off, like, I don't know if you just saw it, but see how this smudge that just came off when I did my eraser. Learning to clean off your eraser so that when you go in and like do highlights, or if you go in, like if you want to do a highlight and make it look like there's a glare, like you want to do a glare on something, like lights coming off of it, and it's all dark, and you want to do like a quick erase, and you want to have a big bright spot or something, then clean off your thing. Otherwise, it's just going to smudge it. You need to have a clean eraser. Having smudging, have a pencil eraser to smudge stuff. Have smudging pencil to help you shade. Turning your photo so you have a better angle on stuff. All that kind of stuff. I hope at least you pick up some small techniques. This isn't meant for, obviously. It's just meant for people to enjoy and watch, but also hopefully it's meant for some people that are still learning to draw a little bit to pick up some technique here and there. It's obviously not meant for advanced people. Trust me, I've been drawing for quite a while. I would say I'm kind of like middling advanced, like at the low level. Like if you got novice, advanced, master, or like novice, I don't know, like you got like novice. There's probably like 4 stages. You got novice, whatever is right after novice, advanced, and then master, and then grandmaster. Sorry. But if you got like so I'm probably past novice in the next stage. I've got probably enough experience and stuff and all that, but then I'm probably just before advanced. I know a lot of technique, but I just don't have enough experience. I don't force myself to draw enough, or I just don't do enough drawing and keep up with the practice to keep myself going. So hopefully some people can pick up a little bit of stuff here and there. And I hope the subject matter, like I said, we're going to turn into, a fairy, and the subject matter will eventually, or is interesting to people. I always draw stuff. That's the best thing I always suggest to artists is make sure your subject matter is interesting to you. If it's not interesting to you, like don't get me wrong, some artists like photographers or even people that draw and stuff are going to have to sometimes when you're trying to work or do a job, you're going to have to do some stuff that isn't necessarily interesting to you, but try to like stay in a field. So obviously photography, you don't want to just be taking a whole bunch of pictures of just like, you don't want to do a whole bunch of stock photos if people or things aren't interesting to you, I talked about one time, one person who was using her art. She wanted to do family photos, do like a family photography, or do like she wanted to open a photography thing where she would then do an additional thing where people would pay her to do a sketch or do a portrait of their family photos. So she would take a photo, do a family photo, and then like for 200, 300, whatever the amount was, dollars, she would then draw them. And she was amazing at getting people to draw people on like picture perfect. And she used her talent very well to which, but the point was that she enjoyed that very well. So I wouldn't don't get yourself to a point where if you're going to hate your life if you love photography, but you hate your day to day every single day. If you're simply taking pictures of, ducks. I don't know what a good example is, but try and get something in there. Like if you want to take pictures for models or wildlife or something, try to find something. Obviously, you're gonna have to take some jobs sometimes that you don't quite particularly enjoy, or that are just cash jobs or whatever. I'm not holding up people up for against that, but try to make sure you on average have something in there that you enjoy, even if it's tough. Even if it's hard, make sure you're getting a fulfillment out of it, even if you're not necessarily always happy and laughing or whatever. The best thing to do is you feel like you got a good day's work done and there was something enjoyable about it. Because if you get to the point where even if you get a decent paycheck and all that, If your life is entirely miserable, you know, some people can do it. I mean, I know we're obviously talking about art, but if some people can, if some people can go work a 9 to 5 at an office, but utterly hate it, but everything that they do for that day, as long as that paycheck's big enough and they can go home and spend money on their kids and time with their family or time with their friends or whatever, and all of that makes up for whatever misery they have to do at their job because the reward is big enough, then I'm no more power to them. Like if they just utterly hate their job, but the reward and payoff is big enough that they think it's worth it, then I'm not gonna diss those people. But I think a good life is something where like you find enjoyment in it, and then not just enjoyment, but you find the word escaped me, even though I just said it again a second ago. Fulfillment. You find some fulfillment in what you're doing, so that you can, because then you can. I think you can, because then if you feel fulfilled in that way, like you feel like you're doing something. For me, it feels like I'm like crafting something, creating something. I kind of feel probably like that male typicalness, like getting your hands dirty, doing something like that. If I could do that every day, not necessarily like building a building or something, but if there's something like that I could do every day, to create, then that kind of gives me fulfillment, and that's kind of what art does. And but it, and if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do art or something like that, then I definitely try and fall into that. So when you're doing your art, trying something, if you start doing a picture and you find out, like if you're just doing one for yourself and you find out this isn't enjoyable, unless you're specifically really trying to like, there's a very specific technique that you're trying to fulfill. Um, if you can switch it up and do another piece, find different subject matter or something to make it more interesting to yourself and maybe get your brain more into it, then I would do that. I'm pretty sure there's different ways you can fulfill, teach yourself that technique or whatever. But if there's only one way, so unless you're very specifically trying to like, this is the way you do it, this technique, and for some reason you can't change the subject matter or whatever. But if for some reason that picture is like you were drawing, I don't know, you were drawing a dog and you thought at first, oh, I thought this was going to be cute, I'm drawing my dog. And then you're just like, I'm not into it, I'm not enjoying this at all. For some reason, there's no way. But then all of a sudden you start drawing a dragon. But all of a sudden you're just like, I really want to draw a dragon. Then do it. But I would suggest trying to, once you lock into something, unless you once you find something that you're like, I got it, then lock into it, stay into it, finish it. I always had problems with not finishing things. Once you get in there into it, or once you start doing it, finish it. Don't leave it behind. I've left too many projects out behind. It's a bad thing to do. Get into it. Just keep going. But find, it doesn't matter if you test a couple things out, but once you find something and you start getting into it, don't forget about it. Get in there, finish it. But that's why I say find something that seems fulfilling, because that is a better way to keep you going. Fantasy drawing, fantasy stuff, like especially with like armor, like women armor, like fantasy women, but like fantasy creatures and like barbarian women and all those kind of subject matters, creatures and all that kind of stuff. I found great interest and fulfillment in doing all that kind of stuff and character designs and all that, and so it keeps me going in those areas. So that's just kind of a suggestion and going in with your art. So but yeah, anyways, I don't know why I rambled off into that. So you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Like I said, hop into my Discord, linked over on my Twitch, the Armchair Grump, all one word. Go over there, go to the About section, grab the Discord link, and I will put out notifications when I'm streaming anywhere. I'll tell you if I'm streaming over on YouTube at the Armchair Grump Live, and I will tell you if I'm streaming over on Twitch, so that you know where I'm at. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.